that they want to do to try to cover this up. But at the end of the day, ain't no covering this up. Y'all hella lying. So this was an incident that happened at the game. Caitlin Clark and her coach hate each other. Right? Brick Center captured this moment right here, right? Now, I'm finna play this moment for y'all, and I want to know y'all reaction to this. Let's play it.
She's been scuffling a little bit lately from the free throw line. It's something she mentioned to us today at shoot-around.
The WNBA is officially in a state of absolute unprecedented crisis. What started as whispers in the locker room has just exploded into the biggest scandal in the history of women's basketball. For weeks, fans have been watching the games, scratching their heads and asking the exact same question. Why is Caitlin Clark, the greatest offensive weapon this league has ever seen, suddenly being frozen out of the offense? Why does it look like her own team is actively trying to sabotage her? Well, today we finally have the jaw-dropping answer, and the truth is far worse than anyone could have ever imagined. The ultimate betrayal has just been caught on tape. Leaked, jaw-dropping new footage has surfaced that brutally exposes head coach Stephanie White's absolute hidden agenda against Caitlin Clark. And if you think the fans are furious, wait until you hear what Jose Fernandez just said. He completely ripped Stephanie White to shreds on national television, exposing the exact tactical sabotage being used to ruin Caitlin's rookie season. But the real shocker, Caitlin Clark is no longer staying silent. She just made a massive, completely unscripted shock announcement that has left the entire basketball world entirely speechless. The front office is panicking. Stephanie White's job is hanging by a thread, and the WNBA is facing a total catastrophic meltdown. Do not dare skip a single second of this video where we expose the truth. The mainstream media is trying to hide. The sabotage of Caitlin Clark is real, and the evidence is finally here. To understand the absolute magnitude of this betrayal, you have to look at what has actually been happening on the hardwood over the last few weeks. When Stephanie White took over the playbook, the promise was simple. Build a dynamic, high-scoring offense around the generational talent of Caitlin Clark. Let the greatest shooter in the world do what she does best. But the reality has been a calculated, systematic freeze-out that is so obvious it borders on criminal. Fans started noticing the red flags immediately. Caitlin would run off screens perfectly open, waving her hands only to be completely ignored by her teammates. The offense suddenly shifted. Instead of running the high pick and roll that made Caitlin a global phenomenon, Stephanie White started calling rigid isolation plays that deliberately parked Caitlin completely out of the action in the corner of the floor. Y'all
see that? Y'all see that moment right there? That was a moment. Now, if you guys really know Caitlin looking at the shot clock. Caitlin is looking at the shot clock, right? She bagged back because Stephanie White already know Caitlin Clark finna go to this inside lane right here. So there's an inside lane right here. Caitlin Clark is about to hit this lane. Stephanie White knows it. Boom, lane. Now, Caitlin Clark did get the shot block, but I believe she was fouled on that play. But it's plays like that, and then it's situations like this that I believe Caitlin Clark is subliminally telling us she do not like Stephanie White. I don't give a damn what no one says. What no one says, bro. She ain't rocking with her, dog. Now, Kelsey Mitchell and Stephanie White was all laughs after a loss today. It was all smiles in the presser. They trying to like not be mad, but they mad. Now, I'm not finna play this whole press conference. We're gonna watch some of it. Shout out to Tony Eastman. If you guys ain't subscribed to his channel, make sure you guys going on over there and show that brother some love. We finna listen to some of this, and we're gonna dissect it. We're not gonna play the whole 9 minutes.
Kelsey. The media tried to cover it up. They called it rookie adjustments. They said Caitlin just needed to learn the system, but anyone who actually understands basketball knew exactly what they were watching. This wasn't an adjustment. This was a targeted, deliberate suppression. Stephanie White was actively trying to dim Caitlin Clark's light. Why? Because of ego. Because of a hidden agenda to prove that her coaching system is bigger than any single superstar. White wanted to show the veteran players that she wouldn't cater to the rookie, even if that rookie is the sole reason millions of fans are tuning in. But Stephanie White made one massive fatal miscalculation. She forgot that in the era of social media, millions of eyes are watching every single possession. And she forgot that basketball purists will always call out a fraud. The dam finally broke when Jose Fernandez, one of the most respected minds and vocal critics in the game, completely lost his patience. Fernandez went absolutely ballistic. He didn't just criticize Stephanie White, he ripped her coaching philosophy completely to shreds in front of the entire world. Fernandez looked at the game tape, broke down the X and O's, and delivered a brutal reality check that had the WNBA front office sweating bullets. He didn't mince his words. Fernandez screamed, "What are we doing here? You have a generational talent, a player who can shoot from the logo and pass like Magic Johnson, and you have her standing in the corner like a decoy. This is coaching malpractice." Hernandez brutally exposed the fact that Stephanie White is deliberately not involving Caitlin Clark in the offense. He broke down the film showing the exact moments White called plays, designed to take the ball completely out of Caitlin's hands during crunch time. He called it what it was, sabotage. He pointed out the obvious truth that the WNBA desperately wants to ignore. The fans are paying their hard-earned money to see Caitlin Clark shoot the basketball, not to watch Stephanie White run a boring, outdated offense that actively suppresses her star player. Fernandez's rant went instantly viral. Millions of fans rallied behind his message, flooding the team's social media, demanding accountability. Next voice.
No pick and rolls for Caitlin Clark. They didn't run an off-ball play for her until the third quarter. Stephanie White's game plan was, let's get Kelsey Mitchell the ball and get her as many points as we can, as often as we can. That was her whole game plan. She sucks as a coach. Jose Fernandez knows it. Take a listen.
What about the defense you guys played on Caitlin Clark today? You had her 4-15 shooting.
Well, we wanted to get it out of her hands. You know, in any pick and roll situation in the middle of the floor, she's so good. So if it was going to be...
We wanted to get it out of her hands, especially when she does that pick and roll in the middle of the floor. She's so good. We didn't even run the damn pick and roll in the middle of the floor. They didn't run a pick and roll in the middle of the floor the entire second quarter for Caitlin Clark until it was like 16 seconds left. His whole defensive game plan was centered around Caitlin Clark and the pick and roll, and we did not run it because Stephanie White wants Aaliyah Boston to be a hub. No pick and rolls. Bailed him out. He's going to keep going. I'm going to run it back. I just want y'all to hear it in full this time. The whole Dallas wing plan was built around stopping Caitlin Clark in the ball screen action, and we didn't even set no real picks for her. Aaliyah Boston is a bum.
But Fernandez's brutal takedown was only the appetizer, because what happened next in the locker room has changed the trajectory of the WNBA forever. The WNBA tried to do damage control after the Jose Fernandez explosion. They tried to release PR statements claiming the locker room was united, but then the unthinkable happened. Jaw-dropping, completely unedited footage leaked from a sideline huddle, and it brutally exposed everything. In the footage, you can clearly see the absolute tension. The team is down by 5 in the fourth quarter. The camera zooms in on the huddle. Caitlin Clark is intensely looking at the whiteboard, ready to take over the game, but Stephanie White doesn't even look at her. White starts drawing up a play for a veteran player who is shooting 20% from the floor. You can literally hear the audio. You can hear the frustration in Caitlin's voice as she points out a flaw in the defensive coverage, offering a solution. And what does Stephanie White do? She completely waves Caitlin off. She dismisses her entirely. The footage proves every single conspiracy theory, right? It proves the hidden agenda. It proves that Stephanie White would rather lose a basketball game than let Caitlin Clark be the hero. But this time, Caitlin Clark didn't just put her head down and take it. This time, the rookie fought back. The leaked footage shows Caitlin finally snapping, looking directly at the coaching staff and saying something that completely silenced the entire bench. The frustration of weeks of sabotage finally boiled over. The golden girl of basketball had officially had enough of the disrespect. Next,
She had 37 points. Her team made her look good, right? Okay.
This comes down obviously to work, but I don't really take statistics really that serious. So a lot of this stuff is really circumstantial to me. And so I want to get the dub, and we didn't get that. So I think keeping focus on the right thing, keeping the main thing is important.
That's their favorite thing to say. Keep the main thing the main thing.
Lexi and Chelsea, I spoke to Becky's creative director earlier this year. Just your thoughts on Jazbel, sorry. Just your thoughts about we're collaborating with him on some of the stuff that you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really great guy. I think a lot of his designs and creativity has made our favorite girls happy. A lot of the stuff that he put together at the beginning of the season was really dope, and we got a chance to meet him and everything that he brought to the table. And so it's great to build relationships, but I think ultimately it's great to also be grateful for the people that do things like that. So shout out to him.
This question for Lexi. This is Ivan with STW Media. You build a reputation on bringing energy and toughness. What did you feel the team needed more down the stretch tonight?
I think more energy and toughness. I think we talked about it in the locker room at half, and we talked about it again at the end of the game. That they're playing to make the playoffs. They came in with a lot of energy, a lot of grit, and I think at the end of the day, they just wanted it more. They were more desperate for the win. So for us, I think it's just we needed more of that. We needed to be the team that wanted it more, and I don't think that we were today. Yes, I will.
Great. So this is for Coach White or anyone that might want to answer. With the regular season series against Dallas now complete, what do you take away from these matchups if you potentially see them again later in the season?
I think the biggest thing is we got to be better on the defensive end of the floor. I think the first matchup we gave them over 100 points, gave them 91 here today. They made some really good adjustments. They forced us to guard one-on-one. We've improved on the defensive end, but we've got to continue to grow, in those areas. We got to finish plays. 12 second chance points in the second half when we're trying to make a comeback. All those.
And that brings us to the moment that literally broke the internet and left millions of fans completely speechless. After the game, after the leaked footage went viral, after the entire basketball world turned against the coaching staff, Caitlin Clark stepped up to the podium. The media expected her to give the standard boring PR answers. They expected her to protect the team. Instead, Caitlin Clark made a shock announcement. With absolute ice in her veins, she didn't scream. She didn't yell. She calmly looked at the reporters and said, "I came here to win championships. I came here to play basketball at the highest level. If the system doesn't want me to shoot, if the system doesn't want me to facilitate, then we have a massive problem. I can't help this team if the ball is kept out of my hands." It was a devastatingly polite mic drop. She didn't have to say Stephanie White's name. Everybody knew exactly who she was talking about. Caitlin Clark brutally exposed the hidden agenda without breaking a sweat. She put the entire WNBA on notice. The owners are now in total panic mode. You do not alienate the player who is literally keeping the lights on in your arenas. The fans are in an absolute uproar, demanding that Stephanie White be fired immediately. The crisis has reached a boiling point, and the league has to make a choice. Do you protect a bitter coach with a hidden agenda, or do you protect the generational superstar that millions of fans are paying to see? Next.
Side pick and rolls. It just get a ball to Kelsey and let her go. Let her go. Let her go. It's terrible, man.
Get it out of her hands. If it was going to be on the side of the floor, we wanted to get it out of her hands and make other people.
We wanted to get it out of her hands and make other people do stuff.
Make shots.
Force other people to make shots. Stephanie White bailed the Dallas Wings out by not having Caitlin Clark involved. It's that simple.
But this kind of performance, the way that Paige took care of the ball, Maddie's plus 16, Alicia Clark coming in and defending, Jess Shepard's all-time season high, Arike and what she did offensively. So there's a lot of things and a lot of people responsible, and that's what good teams do, especially with everything that this group has gone through, right? But I think it started with their continued focus in the film room and practice and shoot around today.
He centered the film, he centered everything around stopping Caitlin Clark. And Stephanie White didn't force him to stop Caitlin Clark. She did it for him. The Indiana Fever's coach stopped Caitlin Clark for Jose Fernandez. He was never really forced to double her that often. Never really forced to blitz her inside pick and rolls because they didn't run any of it. They just didn't run any of it. Aaliyah Boston refused to set real picks. Aaliyah Boston refused to give Caitlin Clark the ball on handoffs. She refused to do it. Yeah.
Kind of on that note, Coach, winning in multiple ways obviously can be beneficial in the postseason. How much does the multiple lineups, having different players step up, like the first half with Jess, the second half with Reed tonight, like how much could that help you guys down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, when you lose a player like Azy, who's the #1 pick, right, and we've relied on...
The ultimate betrayal has been exposed, and Stephanie White is officially on the hot seat now. I want to hear from every single one of you in the comments section right now. What did you think of that leaked footage? Is Stephanie White deliberately sabotaging Caitlin Clark because of jealousy? And do you agree with Jose Fernandez that this is pure coaching malpractice? Drop your most savage, unfiltered opinions down below right now. The front office reads these comments, so let your voices be heard. If you want the real, uncensored truth about the WNBA that the mainstream media is absolutely terrified to report, you need to smash that like button and subscribe to Clark Fever Hoops immediately. Turn on those notifications, buddy, because this drama is far from over and we are covering every single explosive second of it.